The Fort Erie Friendship Festival is back once again, and while it has always been a representation of the bond between Canada and the U.S., this year's event holds added significance.
This is the 25th anniversary of the repatriation of 28 U.S. soldiers whose bodies were found here in Fort Erie. And it's very important to us because it's part of the Friendship Festival, which was created as a tribute to the American and U.S. relationship, specifically because of the War of 1812. And it falls right in the middle of the 3-year celebration of the bicentennial of the War of 1812. So you couldn't have picked a better time to put all these things together and to commemorate that important relationship.
Can you talk to me about what occurred 25 years ago?
Oh, I'd be very happy to do that. It was in 1987 that a private citizen was doing excavating for a new home that he was planning to build along the lake shore. And ironically, as they got further and further in the excavation, they started hitting something that was unfamiliar, and it ended up being bones. They called in the archaeologists because, again, Fort Erie's been known to have 10,000-year-old Aboriginal history, and they assumed that they had found another Indian burial ground. As it turned out, it was a U.S. burial ground from the War of 1812, specifically the soldiers who fought and died between August and October of 1814 in the last big battle here. And it was their buttons and some of the different material and some of the other markings from the battle and the way that they were buried that actually indicated that they were Christian U.S. soldiers, and that's how they found out the story of everything that happened.
What was it like 25 years ago to see the original repatriation take place?
It was quite interesting. It was a day somewhat like today, but it was actually about 50 degrees, so it was actually quite cool. And it was interesting. We had the old guard come up from Washington for this. This was quite significant to them, specifically on the U.S. side, because they, as they say, they bring the soldiers home, and these were the oldest soldiers that they found from the United States on foreign soil. So they were taking them home, and it was quite a moving experience, I can tell you.
What do you remember from that day?
A few things that were, the making sure that it all came off without a hitch. As they were raising the American flag during the U.S. national anthem, it wouldn't unfold, so we had to pull it down, bring it back up again, and just got it unfurled, and just as the anthem's finished. But we had the ambassadors from Canada and the United States there. The Minister of Veterans Affairs was here. It was quite an interesting story to see those 28 soldiers lying, it was at the old fort, and then going back, 28 hearses taking them back across the bridge. It was pretty exciting day.
What is the Fort Erie Friendship Festival?
We're a binational event that started in 1987 to celebrate the 75th anniversary, and we've just kept going, and we're still here 27 years later.
And for those who come to visit the festival this weekend, what are some of the highlights?
We've got lots of food. We've got 21 food booths. We've got midway ride. We've got a powwow happening. We've had our 3 car shows. They're finishing off today, and of course tomorrow there's the Canada Day celebration.
Where do you hope to see the event go in the future?
I would just like to see it next year for sure, because that's the last of the bicentennial. And if we can go over that, maybe we'll go in a different direction. We've gone away from the big concerts. The money's just not there the way it was years ago. So, instead of folding, we had choice. You fold or you gear down, you entertain the people that are here. You highlight ones that are in the region, up and coming young singers that are coming. When they get somewhere, they can remember they got their start back in Little Fort Erie, Little Friendship Festival.
The Fort Erie Friendship Festival was a great way to enjoy the Canada Day weekend while appreciating 200 years of peace with the United States. In Fort Erie, reporting for The Source, I'm Brendan Sylvia.